Let's further discuss this now with Greg Stoker. He's a military and geopolitical analyst at Mint Press News. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. I want to pick up on one of the points that my previous guest made in Israel trying to test out Iran's military capabilities by conducting these attacks. Is that something you would agree with?
That's potentially what they're doing. Their objectives are probably two or threefold to test out their capabilities, specifically their air defense capabilities, which I'll come to in a second. But also, they have an information operations warfare that they're engaged with. So they're trying to portray a vision that they are conducting retaliatory strikes, and that will be inflated in their own media channels and within their government affiliated Telegram channels in order to convince the population that they actually made a response. From my perspective, as a military analyst, it seems completely performative. Now, what we've seen right now is most likely UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, going into Iranian airspace, and they don't have the range to have launched from Israel. They couldn't go unnoticed through Jordanian and Iraqi airspace. They were launched somewhat nearby. We're probably never really going to know, especially not right now. But they didn't overwhelm Iranian air defense systems. There's not a lot of battle damage that we can assess, so it doesn't seem like anything really substantially happened. Was it an intelligence gathering operation to test Iranian air defenses? Well, I would argue that not really, because it's Russian air defense systems, S-200s through S-400s, multi-layered air defense, and the United States, which is a close intelligence partner with Israel, has been working hand in hand with Ukraine and trying to penetrate Russian air defense systems. And it's the same capabilities. And when it comes to air defense theory in this attack, in order to overwhelm an air defense network and put rounds on target to penetrate it, you have to achieve one of two things: saturation, where you put so many missiles or drones or fighter craft in the air that the targeting system has too much to work with, and so it has to start making decisions, and that's called saturation. The other one is depletion, where you have too much ordnance in the air that you run out of ammunition or your equipment goes through malfunctions. And that didn't happen in the first wave. That didn't happen in the second wave. And generally, that's what we call flooding the zone. When you're trying to overwhelm an air defense system, you put too much stuff, essentially, in the air to deal with. And these air defense systems, because they're near peer to American air defense systems, it takes 20 to 30 minutes to reload. So you would, in a first wave, get rid of all of their ordnance. They'd have to reload, and within 20 minutes, the 20-minute to 30-minute window, you'd shoot in a second wave that could put rounds on target. That's not what happened. So it looked very performative from a conventional military doctrinal perspective.
So could these attacks potentially have been launched from within Iranian territory?
It seems like Iraq, Turkey, I can't speculate. Obviously Israel is able to conduct intelligence and paramilitary operations inside Iran. That's been well established. The precedents are there. The assassination of Ismail Haniyeh is the most recent example of how that is possible. So can't rule it out, but also can't really speculate and give a definitive and informed opinion on it at the moment.
Okay, so let's look forward now. Looking at Iran's current military capabilities, from what we know of it, how do you think they're going to respond?
Well, I think that Iran probably won't respond. They have been given an opportunity, or they've just had the opportunity to just demonstrate that Israel launched an attack. It accomplished nothing. We have videos like now proliferating on social media of Iranians jokingly looking off their balconies for, like, where's the damage? Where's the damage? Like, they don't have to portray an image of victory post defeat to their population. Everybody knows on the ground that nothing significant was hit, and we know nothing significant was hit. Otherwise, we'd know about it. So they don't have to do a massive information or propaganda push to assuage the fears or concerns of a population, because it doesn't seem to have been successful. I think they have a de-escalation off ramp that they will take, because Iran has established what we call strategic patience, and I think they're going to exercise that.
While
Nobody
Israel, right, while Israel was attacking Iran, they also attacked Iranian-backed factions in Syria and Iraq. What do you make of that? And on the sidelines of all this, what position is Hezbollah in currently?
Well, they will always be able to strike what they would call Iranian proxies in the Levant, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq with near impunity. But they wouldn't want to necessarily target Iran with the same ferocity directly. So it's not departing from their standard operating procedures when it comes to targeting kinetic strikes within the Middle East outside of Iran. What does this mean for Hezbollah going forward? Hezbollah is able to, it was born out of a guerrilla insurgency. And there's this Western obsession, and therefore this Israeli obsession with decapitation strikes. So I was former special operations in Afghanistan within the American military, and we had the same obsession, taking out leaders. Didn't work, demonstrably has not worked throughout West or Central Asia. And because Hezbollah can still operate in small teams, companies, squads, battalions with their own sectors of fire. So they're able to operate independently. There has been an established precedent of Israel being able to take out their leadership. So they have standard operating procedures in place. So what happens if Israeli ground forces invade southern Lebanon without any military guidance? Well, they have pre-established plans of what to do. They have defense in depth, sniper positions, emplaced IEDs, improvised explosive devices, 1 to 5 man hunter-killer teams, anti-tank missiles. On the tactical level, they're not really degraded at all, and they're not escalating to the full extent of their capabilities because they are still responsible as a organization that's deeply embedded in the civilian life, the civil life of Beirut and southern Lebanon, not to give the Israelis an excuse to just carpet bomb the entire region. So they're going to maintain escalation management, put military pressure, attrit Israeli military forces, and really not do anything too extreme that would cause a counter reaction that would be devastating for the civilian population. But they're not going anywhere, and they're nowhere near defeated.
Okay, military and geopolitical analyst Greg Stoker, thank you so much for being with us here on TRT World and sharing that insight with us.
Thank you.